Yo, yo, welcome to the No Limit Podcast, also known as the Ain't In Sleep, Just Woke Up Podcast. What up? Tonight, once again, you're here with Danny Merlot, Eddie Chardonnay,
Keith King,
and the Keith King, Kev Swick. You got to pick a wine, though, that you want to be. If he's Danny
he's
Merlot,
off the wall. He's like Keith Cola.
Keith Coffee, but he's the only one not drinking a coffee.
Yeah, he can't drink coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink that stuff. I've actually never had a coffee.
You've never had a coffee one time?
I've ever in my life have I
Not
ever
one
had-
time.
Never.
Not a sip?
I tried a sip in 6th grade of my dad's before he drank it.
6th grade.
Yeah, young bull. I don't know why. And it was, I'm pretty sure it was like black coffee, like no, like nothing really in it.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was like, why do people do this?
That's definitely why you're not into it at all.
You got turned off by the black coffee. If black coffee's the first you ever tried,
But dude,
yeah.
in 6th grade, you're like,
Yeah,
you're
not
like
even-
11. You know what I mean? You're not going to enjoy coffee even if it had cream and sugar
Bro,
in it.
I tried everything in 6th grade. 6th grade's also when I had my first cup of wine.
Really?
Yeah. Had a sip, I should say, at dinner. And I don't like wine or coffee
Dude,
to
the
this
first
day.
time I ever tried a beer was in my dad's friend's pool, right? He had this bitchin' pool in Jersey. And like we were all like everybody in there was like night swimming. I had a light on the pool and all, and my dad had like a fucking Coors Light. And he like gave it to me, bro. I was a young buck. And like I can still like beer does not taste like what I tasted.
Yeah.
There was like a metallic taste. Like it was just not for my body yet. Like it was completely wrong. Like you just knew it.
Beer tastes like bullshit. To this day, I'll say that about beer. It tastes like bullshit. Although those
No.
ones that we had on the Holy Mountain podcast were fire.
The
The IPA, the one IPA, the
It was-
Dogfish Light.
it was a Cape May John, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been, but it was the light version. It was like a
Wow,
white
I
can
think
with
I
blue.
think I internally vowed to never say John on this podcast, and I just did it. I'm sick.
You got instant beef with the word John.
I do got instant. I got instant
Not
beef.
going on the board because I don't have.
No, I'm not. Not that I have instant beef with it, but I have beef in the sense that like, I feel like every time you hear somebody say it, they're like trying to sound like Philly cool.
More Philly, yeah.
Like I'm Philly cool, like
And-
John.
It's usually someone not from the city that's using it.
Like I saw a billboard on the bus stop. This is how in the streets I am. I'm still looking at fucking on bus stop billboards, and
I saw it go one earlier today
it was a
too.
you know like that thing you pour in your water to make it taste like it's not. It was like we make these Johns make water WOODER taste better. I was like, oh my god. Fucking
That's
swerve
what, like
my
you
car
said,
off the
you
road.
know for a fact that they're not from
the
Philly,
city,
for
yeah.
sure.
Correct.
Everything they do is just...
They're from Bucks County.
Everything they do is an overcompensation.
I want to go
Yeah.
back to the beer thing one more second before we get to our real topics tonight. 2 topics, because if you thought for a second after everything you see No Limit do that we couldn't just change it from 3 topics to 2 topics whenever we want, you're crazy. So we will get to those, but another little beer thing real quick. Dude, how fucking just stupid was it when we were all like young bulls like that? Before anybody ever got into real drinking, like I know maybe you guys did early in the 8th grade or whatever. I definitely did, not then, but like in the high school. But everybody joined in when we were in about 6th, maybe 7th grade, when people would get like 2 beers in a brown bag.
Pass it around,
take sips, and then 2 pieces of gum and shit on the way home. That was some dumb shit.
Nah, going home whacked when you were in 8th grade and you had to like chew all this gum and be in by like 10. That was wild. Like you were out by 7, in by 10. You had 3 hours to get beer, get to a location, and get fucking hammered. And then crush all this gum and go
I knew
home.
this girl, I'm not going to mention her name. She used to eat Reese cups after she drank because peanut butter takes away the smell of the alcohol.
It's actually a good idea.
Like, just
If
think,
you know that for a fact, that's a good idea.
That
but
that
just
makes total
imagine how
sense.
desperate you were. Like, you're drinking your beer, you got curfew, and then you're force-feeding
You got 4 Reese cups in your pocket.
just ready to go so mom don't catch you.
I feel like you got on that after you found out about it.
Nah, not me.
Yeah, did you ever get caught drinking by your parents when you were a young buck?
8th grade, first time, February.
You got caught the first time you drank?
Oh, the first time.
Oh, the first time you got caught
was in
drinking was in
8th grade of
February.
February.
Got
We
you,
started in
got you.
September. And
Got
yeah,
you.
I only got caught because I woke up in the middle of the night, threw up, thought I cleaned the majority of it up, but I left like the tiniest spot on the side, and it smelled dead like Keystone Light. And then when my mom woke me up, she's like, "Were you drinking last night?" And I was still drunk. I was like, "No." She's like, "Were you drinking?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Clean up the bathroom."
I'll make sure that's rolling real quick. But
It is.
It is?
I was actually going to ask if you wanted to check it out real quick and make sure the light just isn't making me white.
No,
White, you know?
Are you sure?
I'm white.
Yeah, because I knew from the beginning looking at that it's not making you white. First time I ever got caught drinking, dude, fucking, I used to go home and every time I would get right in the shower, which looking back is obviously so suspicious.
So you'd walk right in your house, not say hi to nobody, beeline, get right in the shower.
Most of the time everybody was sleeping, so getting in the shower was actually even more stupid because I could have just went to my room.
It's like you're cheating on your wife. Like you come right home late at night, get right in the shower, and then crawl in the bed.
You know how many weekends
in
a row I came home and didn't feel good, so I got in the shower before my mom was finally just
jerking off.
Before my mom was finally just like, stop fucking playing games. You're out drinking.
She said it.
Yeah, like
Yeah, she
clearly you knew what the fuck was going on. Just waiting for you to come home drunk enough that it's like, all right, this time you're in trouble.
I got caught because our boy Felipe next door, he went home drunk and he like fell up his steps. So then his dad ran into my house and was like, "Where's Danny at? He just came home drunk. Yeah, he just came home drunk. I'm gonna kick his ass," and like left. My mom was like, "Get home now." I was sitting outside. Remember Little Richie's on 3rd and Porter?
Yeah.
I was sitting outside Little Richie's shoeless, bro. I gave one of the girls who they were wearing like flip flops or some bullshit, so they took my sneakers to go into the store. I don't remember why. So I'm sitting outside the store shoeless, and my mom's calling me, telling me I gotta get home now. I'm like, I can't do that. And then I walked in, and she was like, I was hammered, and she was like, "Are you drinking? Felipe just came home," and like, I'm not gonna say his real name, but I got close enough.
I just peeped it when you said it. The second
Yeah, I was sitting there like, who's Felipe?
Yeah, I didn't want to give away his
I
real
did
name.
peep in the beginning.
I didn't know if you knew who I meant, so I had to.
I didn't know you were purposely hiding the name at first. I thought you were just like twisting it a little.
No, I mean, kind of, sort of still, but yeah. They're like, "Felipe just came home. He's drunk. He fell up his steps. There's no way you're not drunk. You're not drinking." And I was like, I'm not. Like, but you know, I was slurring probably, dude. I was 14, you know? Like, I was definitely killed. I had like 10 cores. I was hammered.
Yeah, you'll never. It's like people always talk about as a smoker, like that you never get those highs you get when you first started smoking, but it's probably the same thing with drinking too. Probably even worse, honestly.
Dude, you're also 14.
Worse.
Like, you're not supposed to be getting ripped. It's going to have a worse impact on your body.
100%.
Major facts.
Major facts. That was a good tangent.
Guess what? When you're 14, you're not supposed to be getting ripped in your ass by Epstein.
That was the best segue ever. No limit. That is. You're really not supposed to be getting
not
ripped
supposed
in
to
your
be
ass.
hanging out with anybody the age of Epstein.
You're not supposed to be getting ripped in your ass until you're at least 15. Nah, dude.
Yeah,
Ain't
15, 16 is when it gets popping.
Nah, ain't that crazy though?
Like
Like,
footsie, yo.
Not bad, yeah.
Then rip my ass.
so what we are going to talk about, Ghislaine Maxwell and the case. Is it Ghislaine or what did you say?
It's Ghislaine. You're saying it right. It's spelled like Ghislaine, which is kind of funny to say. G-H-I-S.
Come on down to Ghislaine. Ghislaine. Nah. So we're going to talk about the Ghislaine Maxwell case. She was Geoffrey Epstein's accomplice. And then we're going to talk about that new Beatles documentary, Get Back. So I'm talking about the Beatles and like the music industry because Keith over here is pretty passionate about it in those years.
He ain't fucking with him.
The good old days.
Fuck. Nah, yeah, the good old days. But yeah, so Ghislaine Maxwell, dude, isn't it crazy? She literally would capture like 14-year-old. No, I say capture, like that's not the word. I think she would like convince them. Did you watch the Netflix documentary?
Nah, I didn't watch a Netflix documentary, which I have Vincent beef with because I always will say about that, like, I'm not trusting Netflix putting something out on that. Like, you're telling me
it was
what
pretty
you
good.
want me to hear.
It was pretty good. It wasn't what, like, they like, go after Epstein pretty hard. Like, it's pretty, they give, like, accounts of people who were there. Like, it's, like, specifically these two girls who were, like, actually there and actually had sex with both of them. Like, they actually both talk about it. But, yeah, like, it's more like they convinced them to get there and then they were deceived about what was actually going on there. And then once they got there, they got them into like a secret room and was like, all right, now like, give me a massage.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, now touch my dick.
I'll go into some specifics because I've been following the court trial. But what were you going to say? I saw you wanted to say something while he was talking. Or you just wanted to say some of the same shit.
Nah.
And then, yeah, like Ghislaine Maxwell will be like, yeah, touch
Because
his
I'm about
dick.
to go, if you do got some words, get them in because I'm about to go on a mission.
I'm about
to go on a rip.
No, I was going to say, I'm kind of like with these both, like, so I watched the one on Netflix. It did give like good solid info,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm with you on that too because it's like the dude Epstein comes from major money. Netflix is a big company. Like, there's no way that, like, they can't, like, manipulate
You'll never know
or
everything
influence, what they're actually putting out is true or what. Like you said, it's like they're putting out what they might want you to see or hear.
Or somebody at Netflix might know Epstein and not want certain shit out. Like, just who knows?
They're all
It's all
rich
possible.
together.
Right,
They don't know
yeah.
each other.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
so it's like...
And Jeffrey Epstein was well connected. Who's to say you don't fucking know mad people at Netflix?
Yeah.
So I don't know how who they talked about in the documentary as far as the two cases, but number one, before I go on this little rant, shout out to the True and Non podcast for giving me all the information that you're about to hear come out of my mouth right now. If you
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing, yeah, because they've been following for a while. Their whole podcast is basically based on following his case, Epstein. So now is a big time for them because they're going to the court, and if you want like a very detail by detail description of this case, go check out theirs because they have literally an episode every day right now coming out of each new day of the trial. So all this information comes from that. Right now, there's been, I think, 2 different girls who claim to have been sexually assaulted have taken a stand so far because I've made it through
Against Ghislaine Maxwell?
5 against Ghislaine Maxwell. I'll give you the gist of what the prosecution is saying and the gist of what the defense is saying to defend Maxwell. So the prosecution is bringing these witnesses forward and basically just saying that they were groomed, which is going to be a big point of the case because there's no legal definition of grooming. But all 3 of us sitting right here understand that grooming is like you find a girl who's like young, like 12, 13, and you befriend her, and then like you get their trust.
Right.
And then by the time they're like 14, 15, you have them fuck someone or someone who you groomed them for. So that's what it is, but there's really no legal definition of that right now. So like you can't just say
It's
because
kind of hard to prove.
you can't just say because Ghislaine Maxwell was friends with this, let's say the one girl's name was Jane, it was an alias that she used. Let's say because they were friends, you can't just say because she was like a mentor to her while she was 13 to 15 that she was grooming her for Epstein. That's what where the gray area
Why does
comes
everybody
in.
pick Jane Doe as their fucking alias?
I don't even think she did. I don't think it's Jane Doe. I think it's just Jane something
Yeah,
else.
she got it from Jane Doe. Who's she playing?
So she has talked. Funny thing she said, little comic relief moment here. She said that she had to sit on Epstein's face and reach behind and pinch his nipples while Ghislaine Maxwell watched. That was one specific thing that she said she did.
There's no way she's making that up.
Yeah,
That's so specific,
not
dude.
a
There's no
chance.
way she's making that up. I think I heard something else in the Netflix documentary about like he liked his nipples and he had a weird dick. They said. Remember the thing? Like as soon as it starts, they're like, "Oh, isn't your dick look like a potato?" And he just like gets up and like leaves. He gets like real mad. He's like, "I'm done with this."
You can attest to that?
He did have a potato cock.
It's like no, dude. They air this out like 5 seconds in. Like they try to just air him out like immediately in case you turn it off quick. They try to get something out there to like.
Yeah,
is
to
it
keep
true
you, to keep you in
Yeah,
it.
it's like, is it true that like a few of the victims of yours said that you have like a potato dick, and he's like, "Fuck this," and he gets up and leaves.
So the prosecution has another girl come. She talks, whatever, and basically tells another story just like that. The girl Jane was a more in-depth story where like her family was going through a rough time. Maxwell and Epstein came to meet her at school, said they used to be friends with her mom, which I think was actually true because then her mom, and her siblings or whoever she had in her family went and met with them too, had dinner, and that's how her relationship started. She would go over there with her mom. Then she started going over by herself, and after she went over by herself a bunch of times, then she was asked to do like the sexual acts to Epstein while he was paying for like her acting lessons, her singing lessons, all this stuff that she wanted to do to become rich and famous. Which is kind of funny because like when you hear about these rich people promising like fame and all this stuff, you think that it would be just like a snap of a finger, like, all right, you're now famous, we're putting you in this star role. But legitimately, he was like trying to make her more talented. He was paying for actual lessons and shit to get her to a level of professionalism that she would like make it in a career like that, which is crazy to think. You would think they have so much power that they can just be like, oh, you're in a movie now. Wasn't like that.
But do you think that's just kind of giving them the runaround a little bit? Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is how you have to do it, and then we're gonna pay for these classes just so because they're not gonna put them in a fucking movie.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
100%.
They're not gonna do that. So they fuck with them that way.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They don't know.
Whoever Disjane is,
Because what they do is like they would pick
actress.
random girls from Nebraska. Like they would pick anybody out of a random situation and just be like, oh, now if you want to be a movie star, every 15-year-old girl wants to be a movie star. Like that's just how it would just be so easy. Oh, I know this person. I know this person. I can get you a movie tomorrow.
And the last guy,
and then when you show up the next day, they're like, oh well, now you need to do these lessons. This is how you actually get it. And then they hit you with all that shit.
And the last guy, he didn't get assaulted or anything. His name was Juan Alessi. He was supposedly an employee of Epstein who regards himself on the same level as Ghislaine Maxwell. We're good?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the levels. It's not like too low for us, right?
No, you're chilling. You are down here. You're actually bigger.
Right.
He regarded himself, this guy Juan Alessi, also brought to the stand by the prosecution. So who's going against Ghislaine Maxwell? Regarded himself as an employee of Epstein on the level of Maxwell. Now, he clearly doesn't think that Maxwell respected him on that level because there's been a few times that he's been on the stage where he kind of like hit her with a zinger and like felt some type of way, like hype about himself. For instance, one time, supposedly he said something about, oh, Ghislaine expected me to be blind, deaf, and dumb, and like looked at her and gave her a look, it's probably a quote that she specifically said to him, like, you're blind, deaf, and dumb. He thinks he was
How good do you think that felt while she's behind the thing to be like, bro, he was thinking about that all morning, showering.
Yeah. Blind, deaf, and dumb, huh?
Blind, deaf, and dumb, huh?
That's what you got to say, Ghislaine? Yeah.
I'm going to hit her with this.
He
telling everybody.
Practice it in the mirror 100 times a day. He was ready.
Even before the case, every morning he would wake up and look himself in the mirror and like wipe water off and just go, blind, deaf, and dumb. Huh?
I don't know what the guy looks like at all. I'm just picturing somebody with like a shit-eating grin in the court, like with their best suit, just ready to rock. That's funny.
So he thought that he controlled the house, and Maxwell really doesn't agree with that. She doesn't think that he had that type of power. Some funny shit he said was that he would have to clean up the massage rooms, which were in every room of the house. And
they had a massage room in every room?
Every single room had a massage room.
What a fucking... I was going to say, what a pervert.
Yeah. What a pervert.
What a pervert. Because I was going to say, what a perverted thing to do, and then what a pervert, and then what a pervert.
And he said, basically what he found was a double-sided dildo. But the way that... the way he described it in court was, like, so specific and, like, trying to be proper. He was like, so I found a sex toy that was a penis on both ends.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's probably so awkward to explain.
What did they have to get so detailed? What, there was like, were there veins on the penis? The double-sided penis? Like, yes. Was there a ball attachment? No, there was no ball attachment, officer. No. Or,
it was shaped like a potato.
Your Honor. It was not shaped like a potato, Your Honor.
So he said he had to put that back in Ghislaine's closet. That's where he always had to go put it back. He said, I had to wash it with warm water and soap and return it to Ghislaine's closet.
That's fucked up.
They were leaving shit on that fucking dildo. Nasty shit. Probably literal shit.
Yeah.
Ew. Imagine that being your job. You're fucking washing Ghislaine Maxwell's double-sided dildo. That's wild.
So yeah,
wild life.
So the prosecution shit is pretty easy, like, to understand. They're trying to get her for aiding and abetting a sexual predator. They're trying to get her for grooming these girls, for purposely going out to meet and transport these girls to him. They're trying to get her for all that.
What's her defense? Is she like hoping to get off?
Here's her defense. The defense apparently, and what's crazy is all the stuff money can buy, her lawyers are so good. This is what this other podcast reports, that the other lawyers she has are really good. One's name is Bobby.
Did not expect that.
Girl Bobby, like Bobbi.
Wow. Okay.
Strong. And her opening statement, she used 3 M's. She said it's a case about money, manipulation, and the last M was maybe... why can't I remember the last M? But there's 3 M's, so she put it like that: money, manipulation, something. And the money part that she's talking about is basically she's trying to say that these victims are only coming out now because they realize that there's compensation to be had if they win the case. Manipulation has to do with I think whether or not she herself, Ghislaine, was actually manipulated by Epstein to do this type of thing.
Is she saying that now?
Not necessarily, but what they are arguing is that she's kind of standing trial for Epstein's crimes. They're saying that
I think that she should
she's being used as a scapegoat. They used the word scapegoat, and the prosecution objected to using that word because they didn't want the jury to, like, you know, imply any other kind of connotation with scapegoat.
I don't mean to cut you off, but like, say me and you killed him, right? No limit.
Yeah.
And in the process, he killed you. I'm still an accomplice. But say you actually killed him. Like you physically killed him. Like, say you shot him and he shot you. But I was also here to kill him too. I should be going to jail too for his murder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, even if Jeffrey Epstein was manipulating Maxwell into doing this, she should be dying, or she should be going to jail for that crime, for the crimes that he committed, because she's an accomplice to all those crimes.
Agreed.
We're 100%.
100%. Yeah.
That's just how I think that's definitely how it should be.
Money talks, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy. She probably will get off. On
I was just this is why I was curious about her defense, because like, how could she should just, like, she is going to jail. It's just a matter of how long.
No, I think
if you
she's
got
gonna
good
get
enough
off.
lawyers, dude, they
That's
can
wild.
argue a certain
That'd be
way.
wild to get off for that.
I think she will.
I don't think
Really?
she will. I don't think she will just because, like, some of the details and some of the victims, like, blatantly say that she participated in, like, not necessarily raping them, but, like, because
Setting
at the
up the
time
rape.
they were
No, she would be involved in some of them.
It wasn't, like, consensual because now they know how bad their situation was in hindsight, but they weren't, like, resisting at the time, probably.
No.
Because they knew what was coming with it. Now they realize how wrong it is, but at the time they weren't being, like, held down against their will.
No,
It
at the
wasn't
time they
anything
were
like
having
that.
sex with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, they were legit just having sex with him.
Yeah.
All right.
So she was definitely involved in having sex, the having sex aspect of it at times. So she'll probably go to jail for that. But, yo, one thing I want to specifically talk about the lawyers, though, is do you believe this? Like, what do you think about this? The lawyer, they said, on, like, the 5th day came in, and obviously this was, like, after 5 days of court. You know, she's the defendant, so they're basically saying all these bad things that she supposedly did. And the lawyer, like, gave her a big hug. Like, she was clearly, like, upset, and the lawyer, like, gave her a hug. And I don't know, like, to me, that's just kind of crazy because as that lawyer, like, yes, your job is to, like, defend your client. But at the end of the day, you know that all these people on that stand are not lying. You know what she did. And you think that lady is deserving of, like, a hug, a moment of comfort from you? Are you going so far above your pay grade to do that for her? Because that makes me feel some type of way about the lawyer. Like, you should just come in very professional, do your job. But that makes me feel like you, on a personal level, like Ghislaine Maxwell, knowing that she probably 99% did everything you're hearing in this court.
Now, so say we were gonna say something. So say like Ghislaine Maxwell hires this lawyer and she's spinning a sob story. Look, I was manipulated. I don't know what was wrong with me. Like she's just spinning the side that like I don't know what like I was what's the fucking word I'm looking for?
Tricked.
Not tricked. Tricked and duped, but like what's the
Mentally
actual
manipulated.
No, what's the word? Like what's the word? Like how do I dupe you? How do I trick you? Manipulation.
She was manipulated. That's basically it.
What's the white and the black spinning thing that fucking hypnotized? She was hypnotized by him. Like say she was like I was under a trance. Like he got me under this fucking weird voodoo. Like what if she was just spinning like some weird shit, right? That like now she's like I'm actually a good person. I would never do such a thing. Like you don't know what she's spinning. Maybe they see her as a more inhumane or a more humane side of Ghislaine Maxwell.
But at that point, you're just crying wolf because you got caught. You're not like actually sorry. You're just sorry you got caught.
For sure. Which she probably is. I'm sure she was completely in on it and knew everything that she was doing and was not hypnotized by Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate, maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't know how I'd feel about the lawyer. I'd have to see like the actual video, but if it's just literally him hugging her.
It's a girl. It's a girl.
It's a girl just hugging another girl. I mean.
What if they're like.
The beginning of many a porn.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if it's like a thing?
Yeah, I mean.
She's got a double-sided dildo.
Oh, the dude also said in that closet, in the closet with the double-sided dildo were a bunch of porn tapes.
Like, I feel like they're too rich to have, like, literal tapes.
That's where you get the fucking classic shit, the vintage.
Yeah, I mean,
Imagine having a porn
I don't
collection.
know. Like, in terms of, like, the hugging, like, you're getting paid a hefty check, bro. Like,
She wants a hug. Give me one.
you want a hug? I'll give you a hug.
Yeah.
You're giving me $2 million. You're going to jail regardless, probably.
Do you ever think about that in general about law cases and shit? Like,
just like
when the defendant's lawyer kind of knows, like, the defendant of a murderer knows pretty much, like, my client probably killed this guy, but he's putting in a not guilty plea, so I have to defend him. And I remember, I forget what situation this was in, but at one point I was in some type of group setting where we were asking a lawyer questions, and someone asked him that, and his answer made sense that day, but I've since analyzed it thinking about this case again. His answer was like, well, it's not our job to, like, pick and choose who we defend. It's the job of the criminal justice system to always be right in the end. So I'm going to show up and do my best to defend this guy, and the prosecution's going to show up and do their best to prove they're guilty. And the justice system is supposed to be so good that it gets the job done right, no matter what's said. But certain stuff, like when you're a lawyer and you walk in and you call this lady a scapegoat, knowing what that, like, rings off as in jurors' heads, and you hug this lady, showing a sign of, like, physical affirmation to her that you support her. It's just like,
That's why you're a good lawyer. That's what makes you a good lawyer.
Exactly, though. But, like, you're trying to beat the justice system. You're actively doing things like that. You're trying to beat the justice system.
That's how you make your
so
money.
it's not what that guy said. It's not him saying, oh, the justice system's going to figure it out. When you do shady, underhanded, slimy shit like that, you're subliminally trying to beat the justice system by ways other than just standing up there giving your argument. And that's a little gray area too.
Right, but I think that as a United States citizen or whatever, or you're being prosecuted by the United States justice system, right? The country allows you to defend yourself. So we need people in place to defend that because there's laws. You need like, that's why, like, people who are poor and they get convicted of crimes, like, they're provided at least some type of lawyer. You know what I mean? That's why it's the worst lawyer, but they're provided something because you, as a citizen of the country, that you get that right to have a defense, to have your say, so people don't just get randomly killed or thrown at, like, because what would just stop anybody from just saying this dude robbed my store? And like, what do you mean he robbed? I didn't rob a store. I wasn't even at your store. And like, no, he robbed my store, and then you get taken to court for robbing the store. Like, you need to be, and if you're poor, you'd have no option if you couldn't afford a lawyer. It would just be this guy and a lawyer versus you who just got picked. So that's why that needs to be there. So, like, those guys who hug Ghislaine Maxwell and, like, do that slimy shit, that's why they get hired by Ghislaine Maxwell. Because they need to do these high-profile cases and they get paid $2 million. So that guy for $2 million is going to do that slimy shit. He don't give a fuck.
I'm, like, stuck. I feel like you stumped me on that one. It's like, again, I feel you, but, like, I don't know. Because at the same time, like, if I was getting paid that much, I'll give you a fucking hug personally. I really don't care if you're a scum or not. Like, I'm getting my bag and that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it is, bro.
Now, like, if she gets off for this, right? Like, she can't be tried again for these crimes. Like, that's just it. Like, if OJ can't be convicted again of a murder if some new information came out. Like, he was already acquitted and that's it.
Well, there is that thing, like, you could get taken to the civil court or whatever, and then it only has to be over 50%. Like, right now, the crimes are that it has to be without a
didn't
doubt.
OJ lost in civil court, didn't he?
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure
he
he
might
did.
have. I know that.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I know the one famous one that the United States lost in civil court, that they killed Martin Luther King.
Did they really?
Yeah, they lost because then it only has to be over 50-50. Like, if they think that, because there's no the punishments handed out aren't that deep. It's usually just like a fine or something. So they had to pay his family a bunch of money.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No limit.
Real shit.
Real quick. Say you said the lawyer gave her a hug or whatever, this and that.
Yeah.
What if the lawyer actually thinks, like, yo, what if, like, she's not guilty? Like, what if he just thinks that?
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of what he said, too. If she's been preaching a story the whole time and the lawyer has really started to believe it, then...
Yeah, it's like...
That's what I'm saying.
You don't know what to believe.
Yeah,
like,
you just got picked. You just got hired.
And I'm sure that $2 million gives you an incentive to believe her that much more.
And then just think about, like, the times where you're sitting there having a conversation and she's like, yeah, can you give me a water bottle? Like, she's still a person. Like, you're going to have that, like, just some kind of connection.
what's so disgusting about it too is that the world's elites are probably watching her performance and thinking like, damn, if I ever get caught up in some shit, I'm gonna go to this lady too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby. Hot Bobby. Is she
Yeah.
hot?
Nah, I think they said she's got like blonde hair
Bobby's a hot name for
and
a
just
chick
looks
for
like
some
she
reason.
like hits the gym and shit. Like she looks like she keeps herself together. They said she looks like she graduated at the top of her class at Stanford. If that means anything to you.
So you don't know anything. You don't know what she looks like, but you have all the information about what
Blonde
she
hair,
looks like.
yep, and the descriptors.
Blonde hair, goes to the gym, and smart.
Yeah.
I'll
He
try
knows
it.
the school she went to, but not.
Yeah, you know everything about her, but what she looks like. Pull up a pic of this Bobby chick.
What's her
Bobby.
name?
And her
Brick-
double-sided
Can.
dildo.
Nah, my phone's over
Bobby
there.
chick. Prick.
I want to see the dildo, too.
Yeah.
The double-sided one.
See if we're still good. Yeah. While we're up here.
Can I blow my nose? Is that acceptable?
We got tissue?
No, I don't.
Yeah, blow your nose, but where's a napkin?
The rug.
Put on that elevator music for a minute. You ever get stuck in an elevator while we're waiting for him to look up Bobby?
Nah, bro. To be honest, that's like a weird phobia of mine. Every time I get in an elevator, I just think, what if this thing just drops? Like when I'm on like the 18th floor, I'm like, what if this just drops?
I got stuck
That's
in an
such a-
elevator with like 15 dudes sweaty as shit
Oh
after
my-
football practice.
All right.
Really? That sounds terrible.
All right. So we got
Smells
Ghislaine
so
Maxwell.
We all packed
lawyer.
the elevator, bro. It was like one of those moments where everybody's trying to be funny and like, oh, I ain't waiting for the next one, and they pack in, and then it started going up and just completely stopped, and we were like,
Oh
what
no,
the
she's like an
fuck,
old
yo?
lady, bro.
And they let us out the craziest way.
Nah, she's like an old lady. She looks like Doc Ock.
Oh my god!
Bro, I thought she was like a 25-year-old blonde.
well, then
She
maybe-
looks like anybody's gay aunt.
I
That's
probably
Yeah.
described the other lawyer then, but yeah, show that to the. I'll pop a picture.
She
up.
don't
Fuck
go
it,
to the
show it
gym.
camera. Yeah, I described the wrong
Nah,
lawyer,
just in
but
case
that's
you
her.
forget, let's get that. Let's get her on there.
I'm gonna have to get myself the aunt wrong on that description. 'cause I-
She graduated top of her class in 1962. She's old as
What do you
dirt.
think she majored in?
Giving top. Bobby.
Giving
Bobby,
top.
Brick.
Giving top.
She
If
looks
I,
like
if,
she-
I, if I was the other lawyer, that's what I would say as she walked into the courtroom just to make her look worse. If I was like, Bobby, Brick, it would just look like anything she says, they're not gonna take it serious
Giving
now.
top. This pod where the limit stops. Butthole purple. I've been sipping wok.
Ghislaine Maxwell, double-sided cock.
Double-sided dildos are classic.
Yeah, they are. That's a fuck. That is a serious tool.
Yeah, bro.
If you have that, you're really getting after it with the toys.
I wonder if they do like back to back, like ass to ass, or if you got like
Are you
two,
guys- are you
or
guys
got
into-
two girls like doing it that way,
I think
like through the twat.
you would have your legs up like a far away scissor action, but you would be between a dildo.
Yeah, or you
Right.
could do it like ass to ass
That's hardcore.
and just fucking pounce.
Yo, honestly, no limit, yo. Lesbian sex is low key funny as hell looking. Like, could you imagine two girls just going
Bro, they
ass
do
to ass with a double sided dildo
They
between
do
them?
Just
everything with a
imagine
dick
young
but
Ma.
hate men. They do everything with a dick but just
Young
hate
Ma
men.
clapping somebody out from behind.
Dude, young
With a
Ma,
strap on.
young Ma's got juice, yo. She really does got mojo.
I ain't seen Young Ma in a minute. I hope my man ain't get pregnant.
Nah, yeah. Are you guys into toys at all? Like fucking like I know like friends of ours that have like cock rings and shit. Like I don't want nothing like that.
Yeah. Friends of ours?
Yeah.
After the pod,
I
I
don't
need
think
names.
I don't think they want you talking about that on the podcast.
I'm not gonna say on the
I don't
I would
even
never
know,
say names.
I don't even know who it is, bro.
I would
Dead
never
ass.
say names.
I'm just as
Yeah,
surprised as him.
after the podcast, we need names.
You've never used toys at all. No.
I've
Nah,
never
I
used-
never put nothing on my own cock. No
Nah,
way.
the craziest thing.
You never like fucked a girl and she was like using like a vibrator as you were like nothing.
Nah.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait.
Definitely.
Yeah, you have. I never have.
Nah, I've never fucked a girl and she was like using like a
Nah,
vibrator.
no
Nah.
toys. I've never like used a toy
Oh.
once.
Nah.
Damn, bro, you need to hit up the fucking sex shop.
What? South Street?
No, what did it used to be called down by cheerleaders? There used to be one.
Bro, cock rings. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
what? You got cock ring?
No, I don't
Like,
have
I'm
one.
about to cop one for Christmas and just wear
Nah,
it.
it'd be like if your
What's
parents
it
are
do?
like,
What's
if your
it-
parents are like, yo, what do you want for Christmas? Be like, yeah, I just want a cock ring. Honestly, it's all I want. It's the only thing I.
But like a good one.
But what is
Yeah.
it though? Is it like a condom without the rest of the plastic?
Huh?
Is it like just the end of a condom? Like you know how the end of the condoms? Like a
Yeah,
little bit
basically, but it's
thicker?
plastic and you fucking.
It
I
vibrates.
think it like yeah,
It
you
vibrates.
can get some that vibrates. I think it like just pushes your balls up and forward. So I don't know. I don't even know what they're for, to be honest with you.
Bro, whoever you tell me, I'm disgusted with them.
You're both gonna be like, ah.
Bro, I feel like I know who it is. But
I feel like I do.
It's not my dad.
Big Ed.
No, it's not my dad.
Cock ring, bro. What?
Yeah.
Bro, I just.
The paparazzo was after him. He had
That's
to pull.
a, that's a fucking black beetle right there.
Yeah, dude. He got the. He's
You
trying
have a
to
love hat on?
channeling his not raw.
The raw.
It's a raw
It looked like the
bucket hat.
W.
Yo, Schweik, what do you think about that? See that couple water next to your head? For the rest of our time podcasting, when we have a guest, we're going to have him sit right there, and we're going to fill up a glass of milk.
Nah, it's gonna be a red Solo cup of milk, so you don't really like. You wouldn't think there's.
And we'll
milk in
tell
there.
them about it, though. So they
But
just
yeah.
know, like, if you bump into that by accident, there's going to be milk spilling on you.
All over my dome.
Yeah, so like if you get like rowdy on the podcast, like like and then you fucking hit your head, the milk just crushes you. And then like if we don't like somebody, we're thinking about like moving the shelf down 2 pegs so it happens quicker.
Yeah, move the milk, like hang it off. Even if you don't move, just push them into it.
I'll just create a scenario on the podcast where I just get up and...
Nah, if we ever do that, I should have
I'll
one
be
here.
mad
and go,
as shit.
"Ah!"
I'll be mad as shit if I got soaked with milk.
No, that would be hilarious, bro. We
Like-
just tell them, like, yeah, make sure you don't hit that or nothing. And then in the middle of the podcast,
Strawberry milk too.
Bro,
Like it's strawberry milk.
what is that? Pink
I don't
milk.
know.
This kid I used to work with used to call it pink milk. Kev, grab me a pink milk. When you go to the store, I'm like, strawberry milk, bro? Pink milk.
he was living in 2100.
Pink milk.
I
Yo.
was like, what? Like, stop
Yo, how
calling
do you
it-
get in the strawberry milk though?
Bro,
Where's that
It's just
start?
wrong. Like,
I never even like attempted to try it.
chocolate milk's unreal, but strawberry.
Did you ever have the
no.
cookies and cream milk from Wawa?
No, I didn't know that was a thing. Is it good?
Unlock your brain, yeah. Get it today,
Unlock your brain.
bro.
Really?
Get it today. Get fried and get a cookies and cream milk, bro.
What's the 5
So
gum
good.
thing?
Huh?
You said unlock your brain. It reminded me of those 5 gum commercials where the dude's like laying in the bowl and going like this. How it feels to chew 5 gum.
5 gum.
Yeah, 5.
You used to chew some 5 gum.
I used to chew all gum.
Yeah, you were a gum guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I
you're
feel like
a
that's
cum
why I
guy.
got TMJ.
Now you're a cum guy.
Cum guy, yeah.
From gum guy to cum guy.
And I go after them dumb guys.
Who got them fungi in their
And
toes?
they got them fat thighs.
Fat thighs and fungi.
Fat
Fat thighs
and
make a
cock
ship
rings.
capsize.
That sounds like a movie.
Fat thighs and
intro.
cock rings.
From gum guy to cum guy, Kevin Schweikert in Keith King.
How the story of how he became the world's most famous porn director.
But a gay one. Like a change, like the trailer changes to him like.
Bailed of Gay Tony, low key slept on game.
Fire game. That's what. Oh, did you see my picture?
That
on,
might have been better than GTA 4 in general. Bailed of Gay Tony.
And both of those are better than GTA 5.
Wait, there's an actual game called Ballad of Gay Tony?
Yeah.
GTA
But it's
4
about like you know what the main character's name is? You work for Gay Tony. And Gay Tony's like a eccentric club owner in New York.
I actually forget the dude's name.
Well,
That's
Liberty
funny
City,
as-
I think it's
that's
actually
funny
called.
as
He's like a
hell.
cool looking dude. He looks like Drake.
Yeah. He's like the bouncer for the one club. You play as him. But you just
And
blow people away with
just
fucking
he's
saws.
just a gay dude named Tony.
Tony's the club owner.
Yeah, and every once in a while he just goes Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Bueno. He just goes bueno.
You think I'd make it in a Mexican gang in jail?
Give me your
As
accent.
bueno.
I say he's got to get a beanie pull real low down to his eyes.
That's
I'm gonna-
bueno.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
you get a beanie, get a little few tats, you could work with it. I'm confident.
Where you going, Dan?
Hold on.
Who knows what he's doing? But me and Schweik are gonna move on to the last topic without him.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Let's
shit!
get
It's his topic though. Fuck.
Where's your best bueno? I want to see your bueno best.
NYPD.
Yeah, it can work.
That's Axe, and that's bueno. Why they call you bueno?
Bueno. Soy bueno.
So bueno. Yeah, when there's a fight, bueno.
Bueno, bueno, bueno,
Bueno.
bueno part 2.
He gets shot. Bueno. Bueno.
Oh, muy bueno.
That's all he knows.
Is there anything you want to tell your mom? Bueno. Next Halloween, you're bueno.
We almost moved to the topic without you, but I remembered it's your topic.
Oh, you guys talked about when I went away? What'd you say?
No, we almost started it, but you could start it up. I didn't say it.
So the Get Back documentary on Disney Plus just came out. I've only watched the first episode so far, but it's so the Beatles, like during their turbulent years, like right before they broke up, they were trying to come up with a way to like spark the band back up. So they thought they stopped playing live shows in 1966 because like the tours were just getting out of hand. They hated touring, so they moved to the studio, started just recording records.
That was after that one orgy, though, right?
The orgy. They probably apparently like all those musicians have like orgies all the time, like David Bowie, Mick Jagger, all those guys.
Yeah, they're sus as fuck.
Yeah.
Never Jimmy Page though. That's why he's the GOAT.
So the idea came about to write, record, and perform 14 brand new songs in front of a crowd for the first time in like 3 years. They had 2 weeks to do this. So they had 2 weeks to just literally write, record, form all these new songs, and then rehearse them and get ready to play in front of a live crowd. So, and the band's like at each other's throats, like kind of, but not really. They're still like friends and stuff, but they're just like kind of getting like annoyed quicker and like short with each other. Like literally the first episode, like Paul McCartney's like literally telling George like, I'm helping you out. Like I'm trying to help you right now. And George is like, I don't need your help. Like shut up. Shut the fuck up. But anyway, like what happens is they go on to write, record, and rehearse one of the greatest Beatles albums ever, and then they play it on a rooftop in like somewhere in London, and then that's like the end of the Beatles. Like that's how they finish out their career.
What album was it?
Let It Be.
Okay.
So like Let It Be is a classic ass song. Everyone knows that. They just cooked that up in like a week. Like the first episode, it's like it goes day one, and they sit there and just like fuck around with their instruments and somehow create 4 amazing songs. Like, and it shows you just how they sat there and just did it. It shows you everything. It's literally just a camera crew just filming the Beatles for like, I think they had 50 hours of footage they found in a vault.
That's real Beatles. No, this is an actor.
Yeah, they found 50. Peter Jackson.
And this is on HBO Max?
Peter Jackson's like a legit ass movie director.
Oh,
This
it's
is
on Disney.
Disney Plus. He found 50 hours of this footage in a vault somewhere that was just locked away. And it's just all these conversations they have amongst each other, like them writing these songs. Like the one part, Paul McCartney's just strumming a song, like just strumming. Next thing you know, he just starts playing Get Back. And it says like, this is how the Beatles' next single started. Get Back was their first single since the previous year. And it's literally just him playing.
That's the one that goes, get back, you don't know me like that.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr in the back singing that. But it just got me thinking like how insanely good the Beatles are. Because you're just watching it. So the Beatles are one of my favorite bands of all time. I got into the Beatles when I was like 13. My mom got me into them. She's real big into the Beatles. So like just watching this documentary and seeing how they like came up with these songs and like how they bounced off of each other, like all their ideas, and seeing these songs and like their real, like their infancy. Like you just hear like the bones of the riff and like some of the lyrics that make it to the final song, but like they're just working that out, and it's just like a really cool process. And you can just tell these dudes are musical geniuses. And they're really responsible for changing like music as a whole. When they came to America, everybody was wearing suits and it was like clean cut, like look, like short hair. Then they started to, grow mustaches and long hair. Then like the music started to get more psychedelic because everybody was trying to copy the Beatles. And then the Beach Boys and the Beatles were having this like a Russian American space race, but for music. And that's why the Beach Boys put out Pet Sounds. And then the Beatles put out Sgt. Pepper because they were like competing to make a better record. So that all started all those bands from the UK, like that UK rush once the Beatles came over. Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, The Who, all these bands came over to America to capture what the Beatles were doing because the Beatles were just blowing up and just selling millions of records and stuff. And they took over the world. The Beatles stopped touring because, like, when you went to a Beatles concert at Shea Stadium, there were so many people there, you couldn't even hear them play. You just heard people screaming. You couldn't even hear the Beatles play. They would sit on the stage and play for hours. They played for like 4 hours a night, and you couldn't hear them at all.
Unless you were right up in the
But
front.
Schweikert, he claims, not claims, but like we had a conversation before that he was like, yeah, like I respect the Beatles and all, but he doesn't think that they like influenced the likes of like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. So
I don't.
So I
So
kind
you
of
love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I think they're the best classic rock band ever by far. In terms of all around like musicianship, like.
So why do you
they're
think
the
they
best.
have no influence on them? I'm just curious.
I'm not saying they don't have any influence on them, but Led Zeppelin didn't acquire that sound from.
But what's that have to do
listening
with the
Beatles.
movie, though?
The movie just got me thinking
the
about
movie
like
got you
how like
thinking
because you're
about that.
watching them like literally just sitting behind the scenes like how they like it's real close up how they made their music. It's literally them in the writing process.
Yeah, it's like being in the studio
It's
with
like
them.
it's being in the studio with them exactly. All candid conversations and shit like that. Like they're talking about each other behind the scenes. Like they have people filming like.
So you talked before, though.
Oh, we had a
'cause you're
conversation
just a
about
Zeppelin
this before.
fan.
And I love Led Zeppelin
Where
too.
do
I'm
you
just
put them in your like?
so like dude, it's so hard to pick a favorite band and like what you think your favorite band is.
Because your mood switches and shit.
Yeah, like right now I'm jazzing the Beatles, right? So I'm gonna be like, yeah, the Beatles are my favorite band of all time. Like, okay, but I say that and then I say Nirvana's my favorite band of all time. Like I'm always switching it up, like to like a few
Then you
different
hear
bands.
Metallica wherever I may
And
roam.
I'm like, damn, Metallica's fucking sick. But Led Zeppelin's top 4 consistently. They are amazing, and they have 2 different sounds for sure. Like,
Yeah.
it's radically
almost like,
different.
It's almost like it's the thing. It's almost like it's not comparable.
But don't you also think that most influence comes from, you know, you're watching somebody, you're trying to imitate them, and then also do your own spin on it. So like they're taking ideas and things like from bands like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and Buddy Holly and all these people who came before them, but then they're putting their own
Twist to it.
twist to it.
Yeah, but what do you think the Beatles did?
Like-
you know what
like-
I mean?
like-
They just happened to literally be younger, so they
Sure,
came
you're right.
first.
But
But
they-
they took music from like you said, like Chuck Berry and like shit like that, like
Yeah.
artists before them. So it's kind of like it's just how it goes. Like the Beatles just happened to be younger, so they came to America first, like before.
And you
Zeppelin.
think Led Zeppelin is better than the Beatles? You think
I
Led
truly
Zeppelin's the
do.
greatest rock band of all time?
Yes, 100%.
Do you
I
have
have the
any
Beatles? I have the
opinion?
Beatles in like top 3 though, like 100%.
Now, is that out of respect or because you don't listen to the Beatles, right?
No, I do. I have, yeah.
Oh, you do. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you didn't.
No, I like the Beatles. I just don't think they're the best.
I got you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I thought you didn't like the Beatles. I thought you just
No,
you
no.
understood what they meant to music and what they did, but you weren't actually a fan of their sound.
No, I like them. I'm not a fan of like all their songs. You know what I mean? Like there's some
Gotcha,
songs I'm just like this is not for me.
I
but,
think
like,
everybody should check
What
out the
songs
Beatles.
are super famous by Led Zeppelin? Because right now, off the top of my head, on a fame
Off the
level, I
t-
feel like the
I
Beatles
mean,
are
the,
way
the most
ahead.
cliche one, "Stairway to Heaven." Right?
Yeah.
That's the one you're not
Going
allowed
to
to play
California.
at any music store.
Going to California is unreal.
Cashmere. Those are like their most famous
Da-na-na.
songs. Whole lot of love.
Da-na-na. Yeah.
Dude, the Led Zeppelin has
Great.
amazing songs.
Diker Miker. I can't even say Diker Marker.
Like I'm like her. Down by the Seaside. Like I have the albums behind your head actually. Sgt. Pepper and Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. Watch that poster, Ed. You're spinning pretty slow.
Cheers. I'll hold it. Cheers.
Cheering.
I don't know what I just said. You heard that? Cheers.
Cheering. But yeah, so like Sgt. Pepper's and it's Physical Graffiti. The albums that I had back there, I actually think that like they're both comparable in both their careers. Like I think like that's like the most like advanced that both bands got.
Physical Graffiti's unreal.
Yeah, I think that Physical
Dude,
Graffiti is like their best
Trampled Underfoot is
work.
much. Dude,
Yeah,
their
Trampled
whole
Under-
albums.
Trampled Underfoot is
like,
one of the greatest songs of all time. Bro, it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
It's so good. Like, but yeah, that's how I feel in terms of Beatles, Zeppelin. They're 2 different styles.
What does that when you hear Trampled Underfoot, what does it make you want to do?
Like just drink Budweiser and like stomp my feet and like grab my guitar. I don't even know. Like, fuck a girl in the ass with a double-sided
Couple man
dildo.
things.
Go
Like,
ask the ass with a chick with a
go
double-sided
ass the
dildo.
ass with a chick with a double-sided dildo. It just makes
Big
you
purple boy.
You just want.
Barney.
You just want to act irrational.
Call it Barney. You just want to act irrational.
You just want to act irrational when you hear it.
You do want to just do like lines. I never did coke a day in my life. I just want to start ripping lines of blow.
You don't even want to cut it. You just want to grab it and smack it in your mitt, and you'd be fine with
Drink it. Ah.
You want to just get in like a Tony Montana mound and just get up.
Bueno. Just start fucking tweaking.
Bueno.
Yeah.
Give me your best right now. A snort and then a bueno.
Bueno.
That's a good one. You sure you didn't do it?
You look like you really got your fix. Like you really just were dying and then you hit that shit. Bueno.
But yeah, like I think that the Beatles, I think it's somebody everybody should check out. They're definitely music everybody should check out. I think like you're not a big rock and roll guy, classic rock guy at all, right? You're mostly rap and like newer music, but I think that like even you would get like a lot of enjoyment out of
If we're just
music.
going with a rock music conversation, I thought we were going to talk more about this documentary, which I don't know about. But the way
that's basically what, because I only watched the first episode. That's basically what it is.
The way you describe
it's really
it,
good
though,
though. Just check it out.
Definitely going to go watch it because I didn't know it was real footage at first.
And you both make music, so you should definitely check it out.
I've been banging the shit out of Slipknot lately.
What songs?
So many of them, bro. There's so many good ones.
Yo, listen to Korn, Freak on a Leash. Ever hear that song?
Yeah.
That's a song that I feel like you fuck with low in the gym.
It's all right. It's just too popular for that for me. Like
Really?
there's a couple Slipknot ones that are like too popular. Or not Slipknot, but like there's a couple ones that hit like that are a little bit too poppy.
All right, so what's a Slipknot song that you're into?
All right, I like a few of them, but I'll say this is why I liked them. Did you ever hear Linkin Park Meteora, the
Yes.
album with the black and the
It's a great album.
fire album? I think that's Linkin Park's best. But it's because for me, they mix like a rock sound with like this electronic like soundboard sound as well. And most of the Slipknot songs that I like are when they do that, because they do it too, but they rarely do it. They did it a lot more in their last album, which had the song Unsainted on it, which I like. You know what that is? Like that song. Like a few in a row right there. Unsainted, Birth of the Cruel. There's another one. Critical Darling, banger. That's 3 off that album that I like. Then if you go back, their song Duality is like one of their most famous songs ever. The album with that song on it, I like Pulse of the Maggots, that song Duality. Before I Forget, banger. A lot of Slipknot bangers on my gym playlist lately. They're fire. Slipknot's the greatest rock band of all time.
What's the one that's like, oh my god, how does it even go?
The most popular one is like, I push my fingers into my eye. That's Duality.
Into my ass? Is that what you said? Boy, you know.
Epstein remix.
Homosexuality.
I push my fingers into my ass. It's the only thing that stops the air.
Into my ass. Oh.
It's the one that stops the ache.
Yeah.
I put my fingers under my ass. It's the only thing that stops the ache.
To my ass. It's the
I know. I was thinking of this little song. And the rain will kill us all. We throw ourselves against the wall.
ass.
No, wait.
That's all I care about at this point.
Oh shit! Fucking Slipknot. Yeah, you should be banging Korn, Freak on a Leash. Linkin Park's low key banging. They got really good
I want to
songs.
ask you: have you ever felt like a freak on a leash?
I feel like you've been a freak on a leash.
I've had a freak on a leash. Never been one though.
You did?
Never been one. I've had one on a leash. That ain't a toy though. That's why I didn't comment earlier.
That's
just a leash. That's how I keep them disciplined.
What was your all the way back from? I think it was the first time we ever had an episode with you. Your favorite quote of all time? Treat them like shit, she'll stick like mud.
Treat her like dirt, she'll stick like mud.
Treat her like dirt.
It's a fact, bro. Treat her like dirt, she'll stick like mud. You're good.
Now that you're like
leave you.
6 months wiser, that's still your favorite quote?
Oh yeah. And another one is
oh hell yeah!
Another one's when I'm kilt and like pissed about something, and like say you have a problem, but you know like you could probably let it go, but like letting it go would just make you more mad. So like keeping the peace starts a war in Keith.
Keeping the peace.
Keeping a peace starts the war in Keith. I'd rather just fuck up the fun for everyone and feel better about it.
Another way to say that, bro. Good. I've actually similar feelings about that. But the quote I heard was, "You leave knots in your chest, they turn into cancer."
There you go. Exactly. That's how I'm saying. Like,
real shit.
That's how I feel, bro. Like keeping the peace. Like don't say anything. It's gonna say it. Fuck up the fun for everyone, and then Keith will feel better. Don't keep the peace.
Don't keep the peace.
Don't
keep the keef.
Keep the keef.
When's the last time you actually even smoked keef, bro? It takes forever to build up enough keef to smoke.
Honestly, like probably like 6 months ago. Yeah, I don't have like a crazy. I think you can get one of them crazy grinders, but to be honest, I don't even think they get the keef. I think they literally just grind the weed up so fine that it comes off looking like keef.
My brother just steals all my keef.
Really? That's so grimy. That is so grimy.
I know.
Wow.
And he just like he's had my grinder for days. Like he just stops in, takes it.
You've got beef.
That's an instant beef.
You gotta stop keeping the peace and let him have it.
Oh, I have.
All right, Danny's gonna go fight his brother.
Fuck.
That's been it for the No Limit Podcast, episode
56.
56.
Bueno.
Peace.
Love yous.
Peace.
Love yous.
Peace.
Love yous.